Of him standing here.
The knee that's down on the ground.
Hi, I'm Tick Maynard here at Copperline Farm in Citra, Florida. We're just north of Ocala. I'm out here in the jump field that I share with my wife, Sinead Halpin, and I've got a horse here. He's just kind of having an easy day today and hanging out with me, which gives me a chance to talk to you guys about jumping. And what we're going to talk about today is the order of priorities that I have. You know, in everything that we do with horses, there's virtually always more than one thing we could be working on. You know, the horse might be going too fast, too slow, and the rhythm might be too quick, and he might be drifting a little bit off of his line. And maybe we're thinking about ourselves as well. Our heels down, our eyes up, our hands still, and what's everybody else around the arena doing. And so often it's helpful to think about what's the priority in any given moment. So our three most fundamental priorities are, number one, are we safe? Is the person safe? Are the other people safe? Number two, is the horse safe? Does the horse leave the session healthy and sound at the end? And then number three, is the horse relaxed, and is the horse more relaxed at the end than at the beginning? If we look at this horse, you know, we can see some of the signs that he's not totally relaxed. His head is a little high, he's not blinking, his mouth is a little tight. You know, I'd like to see his head drop a little lower, his mouth be a little bit more relaxed and gummy and chewier. There we go, he's getting a little licking and chewing, and his expression changes a little bit. So I don't think of a horse as being relaxed or tense as a yes or no question. There's a huge degree of how relaxed a horse can be or how tense a horse can be. Now in dressage, there's a fairly commonly known order of priorities. It's called the German training scale, and that's rhythm, suppleness, contact, impulsion, straightness, collection. And that's a pyramid that they have. They often show it, you know, with the base being a lot wider and the top being a lot narrower. And almost all dressage riders would know that pyramid pretty well. Now in jumping, we also have an order of priorities. Number one is direction. That's where we're going. Are we on the track that we want to be? And this applies to anything, you know, even trail riding, for example. If I want to be on the middle of the trail, is that where I am, or if I drifted 2 feet to the right? Number two is speed. So that's how fast am I going? If I want to be trotting, that means I don't want to be walking or cantering. If I want to be cantering slow in a nice collected canter for a particular jump, I'm not cantering strung out and too fast. So number one is direction, number two is speed, number three and four are rhythm and balance. You know, the rhythm is like, are you abruptly speeding up or abruptly slowing down, or you have a nice even rhythm, and that relates to a horse's relaxation as well. And the balance that a horse is in. Are they carrying a little bit more weight behind? Is their head up? Is their shoulder up? The opposite of that is a horse that's on the forehand. They might be leaning on the bit. Very commonly, when somebody comes off of a cross-country course and they say they've been going too fast, they feel like the horse is running away with them. It's not that they're actually too fast, it's that the horse is that speed in a downhill way. If the horse was going the same speed in an uphill balance, it probably wouldn't feel so fast. So the balance that you have when you're jumping is very important. The last thing, the fifth thing in our order of priorities for jumping is timing. And what I mean by that is the distance that you get to jump. So let's just say this swing here is a jump. If I want to leave at this spot here to jump it, some horses, they might get too close and they might leave here. If that happens, you're going to catch the horse's front legs maybe, or they might have a rail in front. And same thing if they leave too long, that means their arc is going to come down on the back side of the jump. They may have the rail behind, and if it's a solid obstacle, that's where sometimes the horse might stumble on landing. The most dangerous thing you can get in cross-country riding is a rotational fall, and that's usually where the horses catch their leg and they rotate, not something that you want to have happen. Now, the timing, the distance you get to jump is important, but it's the least important of those five things. If you have those other four things really well, and you get to jump a little short or a little long, or even a lot short or a lot long, usually the horse can feel it very well because they're in an athletic position or in an athletic stance. Imagine a basketball player in a two-point position, or a tennis player in the knees bend. You know, they're ready for anything. And that's where we want a horse to be. We want them to be in a good balance and a good rhythm. We want them to be on the right track so they get to the middle of the jump, and we want them to be going at the correct speed. So whenever we have a problem with jumping, we've got to go back and look at those order of priorities. What we're going to talk about in the next couple of videos are dealing with a run out and dealing with a stop. Now, out of those two things, a stop is a speed issue because you've stopped going forward, whereas a run out is a direction issue because you've lost your track. You've gone to the left or the right of where you want to be. So in terms of what the priority is for fixing those two things, I would rather fix a run out first. I would rather have a stop at a jump than a run out because the speed is not as important as the direction. Obviously speed is important if we're going to get to the other side, but our priority is the direction. So in our next video, tune back in and we're going to talk about how to deal with it if your horse runs out at a jump. Thanks for watching. Check us out again soon at the Horseman's University.